Fictional characters collide rules. Number 1. Outside help is not allowed unless it benefits both characters. Number 2. If there is multiple canons of a character, we will choose the ones that will give the fairest matchup. Number 3. The field or animation does not depict how the fight would go, it is merely for entertainment. Number 4. Non-canon is not allowed for either characters. Unless, however, we are using a specific non-canon form of a character. We hope you enjoy the episode.
Whenever the world is in trouble, you can always trust a hero to quell all sorts of evil and save the day.
And while there have been numerous heroes who have proven their worth over the years, who better to save the world than today's half-magic, half-human hybrids?
Well, better than being half-human, as previous combatants testify for. Has Capcom found a good replacement for theirs yet?
Steven Universe, the half-gem protector of Earth.
And Shantae, the Half Genie hero of Scuttle. I'm Demon, he's Archer.
And it's our job to analyze these characters to their fullest, and find out who will win when these two fictional characters collide.
5,500 years ago, again, a civil war broke out between the Gem homeworld and the Crystal Gems over the planet Earth. One side wanted to colonize the planet and turn it into a symbol of their ever-expanding empire. The others wanted to protect its life and live in peace and free from tyranny.
That sounded really poetic. And the leader of these Crystal Gems was none other than Rose Quartz, a sinless quartz soldier who wanted to experience the gift of life instead of just outright destroying it. Only one problem though.
Yes. The Diamond's big fuck you corruption attack after Pink Diamond died. That resulted in all the Crystal Gems being corrupted, leaving just Pearl, Garnet, and Rose herself. The fun times of war.
Yeah, that definitely constitutes a problem. Left as the only protectors of Earth, Rose would go on to settle down with a human named Greg Universe.
Whoa. Greg Universe. That's his last name here?
Shut your mouth, though, this is important. She settled down with a human named just Greg, and passed on her love for life to the first ever human gem hybrid, her son, Steven Universe. Don't ask how that works.
He fucked a rock! Pass on her love for life? More like, hit her shame for being Pink Diamond by giving all of her guilt and sins to Steven. Best parent of the year, right here. Fucking bitch.
Okay, yeah, Pink Diamond isn't as poetic as we once thought. But still, Steven Universe was tasked with protecting the citizens of Beach City, all the while learning about the powers and the past left behind by his mother.
Oh, and making friends along the way. Well, who cares about that? I certainly don't.
I'd imagine that's because the average intellect person doesn't want to be friends with a brain in a jar.
This is the guy who was once green.
Whatever you say, Nightmare Fredbear. Now, while
what,
Steven
mate?
doesn't have the elegance of Pearl, the versatility of newest addition to the group, Amethyst, or the strength of the Crystal Gem's new leader, Garnet, Steven's still nothing to scoff at.
Let's just make sure that this time you don't end up with 15-page essay about useless abilities. Who and? You have to be a Goliath to do that.
Yeah, let's just get to his powers.
Your mother.
What?
Obviously, due to inheriting his mother's gem, Steven has the superhuman strength and durability that comes with being a diamond.
Not necessarily the speed, but hey, it's good to be strong, and have the endurance to tank through numerous attacks.
That's not all he inherited, which brings us to Royal Shield. As you would expect, it's the perfect tool for blocking attacks and allowing Steven to stay in the fray. It's also better than most other shields that Steven can summon at any time he wants, meaning he's never found his trusty weapon, Shield. Personal armor.
Steven also loves imitating Captain America, throwing the shield as surprisingly good long-distance attacks. He's also able to dual-wield two shields when need be, and can even enlarge it to the point where it can block a blast from a gem handship. Seriously, his shield puts so many others to shame.
Oh boy, it doesn't stop there either. Steven has access to his bubble shield. Yeah, it's another shield. Along with creating an unidirectional protected barrier, you can also use it to push away foes and even breathe in places where you would otherwise die, like space or the depths of the ocean.
Steven can even alter this shield size as well, either encompassing large areas to protect crowds of people or condensing two bubbles over his hands, making for some nifty punching gloves, or bubbles in this case. Plus, you can even add spikes over his bubble shield for some added dose of punishment.
Thankfully, we can stop talking about shields for a bit and mention his other abilities, such as his ability to control the speed at which he falls, pretty much just being able to float in midair, which can make it difficult for foes to hit him. I'm saying he can fly!
And that's cool and all, but he can still be hurt while in midair, or really anywhere. That's where his healing powers come in. Whether through his tears or spit, he can heal both the life around him and himself. You know, they're pretty effective when they can bring people back from the dead.
And even reward character arcs! Seriously, what a way to retcon Lars in such a weird way.
His spit can even make planes sentient and come to his aid. Although most of the times this happened, such as with the watermelon Stevens, it backfired big time. Still, summoning some plant buddies could help, right?
We can get into all his side abilities, such as his weird dream powers, his very limited shape-shifting, or on how he's a good singer.
Very important. Please continue. I'd love to hear you go on about his superfluous talents. Do you detect sarcasm? Good, move along.
Well, we could always jump to Steven Universe the future, whereas all of Steven's built-up stress and PTSD, as the series continue resulting him in...
The semi-perfect betting man census are telling me he gained a super form.
Yep, the pink state, or just... Pink Steven. Cause he's pink now. In this form, alongside the typical power boost, he's also gained some new abilities. He can now create multiple shields in midair, jump between them all, resulting in a barrage of aerial attacks. Yes! More shields! Yes, I am so happy! Oh, and he can scream a room away, but that's not as important as shields!
His...
barriers!
His...
shields!
His... shields overall get a hexagonal design as well, which he can throw out as projectiles. At this point, he's more so creating, as the guy from Epithet Erased would say,
barriers!
Yes, thank you, Demon, that. Additionally, Steven can basically become the Flash. He can run so fast that his perception of time is altered. Where this ability was before, nobody knows. But it's not shield related, so probably he just didn't think to learn it.
To cap it all off, instead of slowing down his descent, he can just legit fly now. Seriously, this shit is ridiculous. Just like his feats, which better involve shields!
Yes, the forced segue.
Starting off with a good old big buff Cheeto puff herself, Jasper. If you recall, or at least try from, Garnet vs. Goliath, Jasper should be able to survive around nearly 43 gigatons of force, since she survived the gem warship blowing up in her face, and was pretty even in her fight with Garnet. Steven, while in his pink state, is even able to match Jasper 1v1.
And not only match her, but even shatter her, which is basically how you kill a gem, because, remember, they're rocks. If I'm correct, Steven's strengths had to be far greater than Jasper's to even accomplish that feat.
Very true, even without his pink state, his shields are pretty strong. For example, Rose's shield was able to casually take a giant fist attack from Spinel, which drove that giant ejector into the ground. This accomplishment was been capped to around 3.64 kilotons of TNT, making it a small town level feat.
Also, there's the fact that several characters could damage the Diamond's ship. According to this calculation, the ship was able to create a massive quake across the ground from 700 kilometers deep in the ground. To accomplish this, the ship would need to be able to release 27.6 teratons of TNT. And the person who did that damage? Yeah, Steven Scales.
He also has...
What's more, Demon, is that his bubble shield tanked the giant explosion afterwards, which has been calced at 558 kilotons of TNT, which is large town level. Oh, and just for the reference of his bubble shield, was also in that gem warship explosion too.
Safe to say, Steven's shield can easily tank large town to island level attacks.
If you need even more proof, Steven by the end of Future should be comparable to his fellow crystal gems, aka the building busting potential of Amethyst, Pearl being casually thrown into orbit, and the mountain busting punches of Garnet. Yeah, if you haven't figured it out yet, Steven is strong.
If anything, his endurance and will to press on are equally as impressive. He's always showing off that he never gives up. I don't know how that is actually any kind of importance, but whatever. It's trying to amend for his mother's mistakes. Trying to fix the relationship between the homeworld gems and Earth, or just trying to help fix the negligent first world problems of his friends around him. I guess this can go for intelligence as well. Willpower maybe? I don't fucking know anymore. Why did I do this for a living?
And quickly, just for speed.
Haha, you said quickly.
Steven being able to react to the blast from the warship, those lasers from the gem droids while he was on homeworld, experiences while exploding with the other crystal gems, and his bullcrap flash powers in pink form make it so Steven isn't a slouch when it comes to speed.
Also, don't forget the Garnet lightning punching speed. If he's compared to all 3 gems, he should be able to scale to that as well. As well as Lapis, who's traveled 25,000 light years away, all the way back to Homeworld. It's hard to tell how long it took for her to get there, but with the 23 episodes that were between her leaving and returning, we can estimate over 27 days, making the speed over 3,727,128 times faster than light. And remember, Steven scales the Lapis.
Although Lapis was traveling in a vacuum and likely wouldn't be as fast in atmosphere. But being in a millionth of that speed would put them both above light.
And that would be a low ball.
Heck, even when Steven is somehow separated from his gem, the gem itself will form into another. Suspiciously also, Pink Steven, whose power should be as strong as his regular pink form. After all, Pink Gem Steven was able to do the same Scream Attack super form Steven can do, stumbling over White Diamond and leaving a pretty good dent in the floor of her ship.
Also, don't forget his giant monster form at the end, which took everyone hugging him to stop. What? They just rubbed their bodies over his big monster. Oh my god, what am I thinking of right now? That is not safe. Oh my, I just got some dirty thoughts. I got some dirty thoughts here.
Demon, that was supposed to be a really emotional scene. You can't just sum it up like that. What is wrong with you?
Oh my god, I got a dirty mind.
Oh, shut up. The kid has worse problems. But that leads us into his weaknesses, starting off with what I just said. A segue that kind of makes sense now.
You see, his gem is a double-edged sword speaking. While the gem Pink Steven is powerful, his human half is left vulnerable and weak as a result. It implies that if a gem Steven and human Steven, I guess, don't fuse back together in a timely manner, Steven could die. And if the half human goes, there's a possibility that his gem half can die as a result. It's never made clear, but even if the gem half still lingers, it can always just be a shatter like any other gem.
Thankfully, when that's not happening, Steven has to be careful of his emotional state. After all, his emotions control his powers, so if he's angry or sad, you have no idea what's gonna happen.
Turned into a monster? That's what. He said it himself during the last episode feature, then became one. Because he thought he was a monster and his gem just kinda let it happen. This show sure gets weird sometimes.
Also, doesn't help that he's a pacifist at heart, so most of the time he isn't even going for the kill. The only reason he's shattered Jasper in the first place was because when in his pink stage, he was overcome with rage.
Which also means he also has to be careful while using it. Too much stress and boom, Monster Steven. That or his body will randomly just epically goof out and grow randomly over the tiniest little thing.
And lastly, being half human makes it so he doesn't get all the benefits of a normal gem. Which means he does have to sleep.
Is that even a weakness? I mean, I know I'm immortal and all, but I do love to get some sleep once in a while.
I mean, sure, but in a full-blown fight, having unlimited stamina would help a lot.
Oh. Well, at least it's better than having teen angst as a weakness, which threatens you to transform into a monster. Though, would becoming a monster really detriment him if the only goal is to fight to the death?
Stupid weaknesses aside, you can always believe in Steven, looking to the bright future ahead at the end of the day. Maybe now the future is finally looking bright for him.
Archer, mention Steven Universe's intro again, and we might have to turn FCC into a musical series.
Dear God, no. I am sorry. Forget I said anything.
Ah, the world of Sequinland, right where our story begins in a tiny town of Scuttletown. A place that's run-of-the-mill, but with decent people nonetheless. It was nice and quiet and free from any dangers.
Until the Queen of the Seven Seas, Risky Boots, appeared and attacked Scuttletown looking for a certain device that was created by the town's inventor, Mimic. But it wasn't long before she was confronted with her future rival and guardian of the town, Shantae.
Shantae is the Half Genie belly dancer assigned as the guardian of Scuttletown, fighting off the dangers, pirates, barons, heck, probably even the old legendary Freddy Fazbear. Let me put this in the script. Damn it.
You want me to get the sledgehammer again?
Yeah, I think one of my writers would be the dick again.
Yeah, I'll do that later.
But anyway, she just doesn't do it empty-handed. No, she has a lot of useful things in her non-existing pockets.
Like her main way of fighting. Her hair. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Wait, why am I saying this? We used Bayonetta before, so it's not that strange. Shame she lost. With her hair, she can smack enemies across the place, push giant rocks, and just straight up break smaller rocks. And faces.
She can also increase the speed and power of hair with magical cream and shampoo. Ah, I just have hair again.
But that's not all she has. As a half genie, she can utilize various magic weapons and transformations. Let's get to the magical powers first. Fireball is self-explanatory. She can shoot balls of fire or upgrade it to a flamethrower. Or she can summon spiked balls, which can be upgraded to scimitars that spin around her. She also has a power to summon clouds that shoot thunder. It can dance to make it come out of her for some reason.
She has a magical bubble that protects her from all enemy damage and can upgrade it to make it even stronger. It's kind of a shield! With Obliterate, she dumps a big old scream nuke, my personal favorite. Then there is her various dances, because she's a belly dancer, and she can become animals.
She can turn into an agile monkey that can climb walls, an elephant form that can bash through metal boxes and slam the ground, a mermaid form which isn't an animal that lets her swim underwater forever and shoots bubbles so hard it breaks rocks, and a spider form that lets her hang on ceilings and shoot venom.
Her crab form lets her snap at the enemies and grant a very tough shell to protect her from danger. Harpy's form lets her fly and shoot talons at enemies, and her bat form lets her fly through pitch black areas.
Then her special dances like revival and warping are self-explanatory, but very situational. Her Tinkerbat form lets her turn into a Tinkerbat, which makes almost all the other forms useless. And the final form, Is that a Shantae tank?
Why, yes, Archer! Yes, it is!
But why? Anyway, additionally, in Pirate's Curse, she was given a multitude of risky pirate gear. Don't worry, the pirate doesn't mind at all, but she's also a pirate, so who cares?
She got the basic pistol and pirate sword, with the sword being able to charge up to run at enemies. But she also has a pirate hat to blind and the coolest triple jump known to man. She uses a cannon that shoots cannonballs onto the ground that propels her into the air 3 or more times, and to top it off, damages people from below. Man, I wish I could do that.
Great, probably have to consider buying a reinforced umbrella if he does. Well, now let's get to the feats. Not only she can push boulders with nothing but her hair, but she has dodged gunfire and cannonball fire as well, and has also defeated the pirate master who created this giant storm around Scuttletown.
Okay, so while Scuttletown never really had an exact size, we compared it to one of Turkey's cities. Given the Turkey's inspiration in the world and the style of the series, we compared it to Istanbul, which is around 2,063 square miles large. And with this, we came to the conclusion that this feat has to be at least in the ranges of 10 to 100 megatons of force. And remember, Shantae was damaging and taking hits from this guy with ease.
And that's not all. In Half Genie Hero, Shantae defeated Risky Boots, who survived this giant volcano exploding. But we can't say Shantae would have survived this. We can't say it for Risky since she was someone who took the hit. But there's also the implication that the machine Shantae destroyed caused the explosion.
But then again, that also has its own issues, since Shantae was overloading the thing with power for it to blow itself up, and needed the help of other genies and their magic to fully take it down. But still, by the looks of this explosion, we can safely say that Risky survived over 3 gigatons of TNT. Still pretty impressive if you ask me.
Here comes the part everyone's ready for. The faults. While Shantae's magic capabilities are impressive, one of the dumbest stuff we've seen.
We saw a cartoon girl in a top hat throw living bombs and anvils. This is nothing.
Be quiet.
No, you.
Nay thee.
Did you just beat my no you?
Shantae does have a very common issue. Her magic is limited. She can overuse it, and she won't be able to continue utilizing magic until it gets refilled, though the pirate gear can make up for that.
And besides that, she is very naive and not the smartest when it comes to battling. Regardless, Scuttletown should be proud to have a belly-dancing, magical Half Genie to protect them, always ready to dance the darkness and any danger for them.
So long! Thanks again! Thank you for everything! Goodbye! I'll miss you all!
Okay, the combatants are set. Let's do this.
Time for these 2 fictional characters to collide.
Well, Skeleton needs a new protector.
Yeah, this battle was a odd one to discuss. Shantae's much higher magical powers and transformations can keep Steven on his toes for a while, but that would only last for so long. Eventually, she'd run out of magic before she gets her shot to win.
Yeah, a shot she would never get, even if she had unlimited magic, since Steven just outclasses her in every statistical way. Shantae was able to beat the Power Master, right? Whose feat was said to be around 100 megatons. Well, that's nothing compared to Jasper's 43 gigaton blast. She survived that, and Steven was able to shadow her.
Even if you add the 3 gigaton feat he had, it's still nothing compared to Steven's overwhelming power. And it's not the only thing either. His defensive power is likely equal to his attack power as they come from the same source.
Yeah, and most of Steven's powers can be used for defensive and offensive at any time, unlike Shantae's one-note powers, which are made for one specific use all the time. And Steven's shield powers aren't going to run out as quickly as Shantae's magic. In fact, they won't run out at all.
Even if she did outlast his protective armaments, it likely wouldn't matter. Given the much wider gap in speed, yes, Shantae has dodged gunfire, but Steven has scaling to Garnet, who can react to lightning, and also Lapis, who has that gigantic MFTL feat we discussed before.
Shantae may have a much more diverse set of powers and transformations, with which it could avoid Steven's much higher offensive power and his crazy defense, but with Steven's incredible speed and the inevitability of her magic running out, it was only a matter of time before she was getting hit with a right hook. She just couldn't survive.
This was a universal victory for Steven.
The winner is Steven Universe.
Next time on Fictional Characters Collide.
Thank you.